Good morning, dear students. Here I am with another chapter, that is human health and diseases. In this lesson, we're going to learn about what causes a disease to a healthy person. Actually, what is a health? What is a disease? What are the different types of pathogens which are called disease-causing organisms? How they infect an organism? How they create symptoms? And how to cure it? Here, these are the subcategories which we are going to learn. What are the common human diseases? How to improve our immunity? Most prevalent diseases in the society, those are like AIDS and cancer. How drugs and alcohol abuse done by different age groups. So these are all some of the subcategories. So in this lesson, we're going to learn what are the different criteria followed by ancient people like Hippocrates, and even Indian Ayurvedic system did follow a certain type of notion, in which you see here in this box, a human personality can be divided into different categories based on the humor, that means fluid secreted by the body. Okay, so humor, fluids. Suppose if a person is a courageous and hopeful, and his characteristic is like a red bile, that means blood related. If suppose a category of people having short tempered, they're all having more yellow bile. Same way, black bile represents the type of temperament called melancholy. Plug is nothing but the mucus that we secrete when we sneeze or when we have a cold. Yellow bile means urine. Black bile means the lavatory, the stool that we secrete. So this kind of a prospect has to be, it's been there in the ancient time, and whoever have a black bile have a hot personality. They have mentioned here hot personality. But later discovery of blood circulation, you see here it is mentioned, discovery of blood circulation by William Harvey, and used some experimental methods and like a demonstration of normal body temperature in persons with black bile using thermometer, and he disapproved these humor temperaments. In later years, biologists stated that mind influences through the nervous system with the endocrine system, our immune system, and that of our immune system maintains our health. So all these aspects like your brain, our neural system, hormonal system, even immune system decide the health of an organism. Okay, let's move into the next category. Health can be affected by three categories. Number one, genetic disorders that we cannot cure. We already heard in principles of inheritance, different types of syndromes, Mendelian disorders, chromosomal disorders, you can say. Some of them are infectious, that means pass from one organism to other organism, and even the most important one, which is considered very low, is our lifestyles, like intake of food, how we take water, the type of rest we take, amount of rest we take, duration of rest based on our exercises. All these are the lifestyles which even affect our health. Let's ask a question. What exactly health means? Health doesn't mean that absence of disease or being fit. It is all about a state of complete physical, mental, as well as social well-being. When you reach, or when you have these expectations reached, being physically fit, mentally strong, and socially very active, and also a very healthy relationship, that brings you, or that can be called as a healthy human being. And how to maintain it? It can be done by three ways. Number one, taking very good food material, personal hygiene, and regular exercises are three major important things that can give you a very good health. Okay, and here the next one: awareness about diseases and their effect on different body functions, vaccination, proper disposal of waste from our houses or our town, how to control the vectors, and maintenance of hygiene food and water resources, and all these are also necessary to maintain or achieve a very good health. Okay, next comes the what kind of diseases, like pass from, or whether they pass or not. There are two groups which are like infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases. Those diseases which are easily transmitted from one person to other person. It can be by abiotic factors, it can be biotic factors like mosquito passing the malarial disease causing organism from one person to other person, or from um, air and water contaminated, like diseases like typhoid. All these are the infectious diseases or infectious mode of transmission. Some of them are not caused by infectious mode, like AIDS, sorry, not AIDS, sorry, the cancer, obesity. All these are all the diseases which are non-infectious in nature. And also, abusing the drugs and alcohol also affect our human health. Okay, so let's move to the next topic, that is 8.1 here. Remember, in this lesson, from here onwards, what I did was like I made a notes like this, in which I categorized all the diseases, based on, like you can see on the far right side, I have written the pathogens and different types of diseases like typhoid, pneumonia, common cold, anemic dysentery, and a few more. And I've written what are the symptoms, the name of the pathogen which causes a certain disease, how to diagnose it, and how to cure it also. Some of them are not given in this category. So let's jump into the first one, that is typhoid. So I'm going to close this part so that I can show you the life cycle of the pathogen called Salmonella typhi. Let me zoom it a little here. Okay, now look at here. The very first disease that we are going to learn is typhoid. Typhoid is a disease in which the pathogen is a Salmonella typhi. In pathology study of disease and disease causing organisms, in which the name of some of the organisms can reflect the type of disease it causes. You see here, these pathogens enter into our small intestine through what? Through contaminated food and water. Here you can see anything. That's why the best thing to get rid of attaining this disease is to clean the food material before you eat, or boil the water before we drink. By doing so, we can avoid the entry of pathogen like Salmonella typhi. So you can see food and water contaminated with them migrate to other organs through the bloodstream. See, you can see how it is moving into the digestive system, and mostly it affects the small intestine. You see, the disease causing pathogens are in the form of small forms like trophozoites, and these are also pass in stool, but they do not survive in the outside environment, so they'll stay inside the body. How can you detect symptoms? Like, symptoms are nothing but the signs that clearly visible morphologically when the disease causing pathogens start showing it up. See, the very first sign is like high fever, like 39 to 40 degrees temperature. Body feels weak, stomach pain, the most obvious symptom. Constipation, digestive system unable to digest the food material. Headache, loss of appetite, you don't feel like eating. These are some of the symptoms. And intestinal perforation, sometimes what happens to these pathogens cause the apertures in the small intestine, and even sometimes in severe cases death can be inevitable. So let's see how we can diagnose. Like the most important one more question, that typhoid is diagnosed by using a test called Weidel test. And there was one story that is goes by a person named Typhoid Mary. She was a cook actually. What she did was, like, she literally passed the typhoid uh, through her cooking methods. So she has called as a Typhoid Mary because she is a carrier. She carried the pathogens, and she continued to spread the typhoid for several years, and even killed several number of her customers. So that's the reason why Mary Millen had been called as a Typhoid Mary, and still she is an example. She was an example, and she is an example currently also. So this is all about typhoid. Remember, the disease causing organism, the organ it affects, how it passed through, I mean the vector, and symptoms, and also the diagnosis tests,